Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. Fuck it, it's Monday. It is another week to kick ass and take names. That's what we do here. That's what crypto does. That's what Bitcoin does. We kick ass, we take names, we add people to the ledger of freedom. Welcome to the show, folks. It's a glorious, glorious time here in America and the world, because what's going on right now is the enemies of freedom are in full panic mode, because they realize their system, it isn't losing because of anything that they have control over. It isn't that they've made a mistake. They have to alter their system slightly so that the public feels more comfortable with their system. No, what's happening is that their system is actually being revealed for what it truly is. It is a leech on the soul and sovereignty of humans, humanity. And we have now reached a point technologically and information exchange-wise where the truth will set you free, and the truth is free. For the first time in human history, we can communicate truth in an instant for zero cost. And that means now there is a free way of information that can be analyzed, checked, verified, and authenticated through the consensus of everyone's reality. The old system was created on lies and the manipulation of information. They can no longer do that, at least not effectively. They can try, and it might work for a half hour until the consensus algorithm of humanity says, that transaction is not valid. That does not align with the information of the blockchain, of human consciousness, of human souls. And the elites who have gone thousands of years without any real threat to their organization of control is realizing their organization is actually being ripped apart. And when I say ripped, what I really mean is it's slowly evaporating into its true state, which is an illusion. They have lied for so long. They have orchestrated a reality that for years, everyone watching this, we knew something was wrong. We knew. We had and this goes back hundreds of years. You have the Civil War. If you look at the resistance media of the Civil War, everyone was like, this doesn't make sense. Because they were pitching this idea of, well, we need to get rid of slavery. Their answer It didn't make sense because it wasn't freeing anyone in a real sense. What they were saying was, oh, we will get rid of all of your debt. That's what the Emancipation Proclamation was. It was basically an American-wide, let's all file bankruptcy. That's what it was. But what they didn't tell you is they had an agenda that would roll what you viewed as slavery into nationwide slavery. Because no one was ever freed after the Civil War. What it was we were actually put into a legal, let's call it legal purgatory until the end of the Reconstruction era. The Reconstruction era was them reconstructing an old legal system, which was basically kings and the royalty, except you were able to vote for the royalty. We'll just give you 2 royals and let you choose from which royal you wanted to choose from, because they're really the both exactly the same. Then after the Civil War and after Reconstruction, and this is part that's going to come out a little bit later, after the 1880 census, that's when they securely had set in place their control apparatus of the system, and then they added a few more amendments to the Constitution, which removed the local authority, and voting changed. It was no longer an equity-based. In the old days, if you owned land, you could vote. Women could vote if they owned land. A lot of women did own land. George Washington's wife was rich. George Washington was not rich. George Washington didn't own slaves. His wife owned slaves because she had inherited it from her father. See, what we switched into is a non-equity required cooperation where everyone can vote. But do you hold equity in the organization in which you have a voice? No. If you don't own land, you don't own property, you did not hold equity in the true appreciation of the country. That's where we're at now. That's what the liberals, the progressives, the Democratic Party hung their hat on. You get to vote. One man, one vote. One man, one vote. Well, here's an example. Let's say someone comes into my house, all right? And we're sitting there and they say, you know what, Ben, we should paint these walls blue. And I go, no, I don't want blue. Well, no. I get a vote in what color the walls of your house are. Why? Well, because I'm in here. Well, just because you're in my house doesn't mean you have a vote in my house, because you have no equity in my house. You did not build it. You did not pay for it. You have no equity. Well, that's where we're at now, guys, is everyone, no matter if you contribute to the appreciation of America, you actually get a vote. So whenever a politician tells you, I will send you money, vote for me, they aren't increasing equity in the country. They are removing equity from the country. And that's where we're living in now. Now that's changing. And taxation is going to change because we've had a slave taxation system on your labor. And everyone knows if you want less of something, you tax it. Let's apply that towards cigarettes. Let's raise the taxes on cigarettes because then less people will smoke. Well, if you raise the taxes on labor or productivity, what are you going to get? You're going to get less labor. You're going to get less productivity because the reward is taxed. So if you tax the reward, the tax actually reverses the incentive of actually producing. How many people watching this right now have had a situation, I know I've had it, where you look at how much you've actually made this year and you go, all right, I have to limit how much I make for the next month so I don't reach the next tax bracket. You're limiting your productivity because if you're too productive, the government is going to penalize you and switch the incentive structure. So you are incentivized to lessen your productivity. How does that system work? It doesn't. It doesn't work. And it was put in place on purpose. Well, now the globe has the perfect incentive currency. You participate, you inject energy into the network, and you are rewarded with the energy of the network. I can exchange energy, which is what currency is. That's why it's currency, current, electricity flowing. And this system now actually, we have an alternative to the lying system, to the system of slavery, because this is free will. Do you want to get involved in the largest growing monetary network in human history? Do you want to jump on the network that increases in value on average 40% plus each year? That sounds like a hell of an incentive. So you have a choice. Do I continue to work my ass off in a system that devalues my labor using negative incentives? Or do you want to inject your value into a network that rewards you with great incentives? I'm sure if you're watching this, you have joined the network that rewards you. And today, that's what me and my close friend Jay and CEO Jay.
Good morning.
And sorry about that long rant, guys.
Oh, I loved it. I love your insights because you're laying out the very foundation of how we need to engage with money to be sovereign. See, our forefathers, when they wrote the Constitution, it was based on personal sovereignty. We're a republic. And many people don't understand this, that look, guys, we are not a democracy. And when you hear those talking heads on TV going, it's a threat to our democracy, it's a threat to our democracy, it's a threat to our democracy, like 50 different people saying the same thing, telling you, look, guys, look it up for yourself. Look at the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and tell me if you can find a single instance when the word democracy is used.
Bingo.
Not once.
Because what we are is we are a republic that uses the democratic electoral system as a way to work the republic. It's a system. Democracy is a system of election, of electing something, choosing something.
Right.
It's a system.
And what the republic, the constitutional republic ensures is, in fact, our founding fathers warned us against democracy and the tyranny it can cause when 51% can dictate what the other 49% should think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what democracy is. If 51% say, then everybody else just has to follow it. Our republic was not based on that. Our republic was truly based on the idea of personal sovereignty and personal control. Like each one of us, we wouldn't be controlled by a government. We wouldn't be controlled by an authority, the ones that Ben is talking about. We would have self-governance. That is what the Bitcoin network really is about, isn't it, Ben? It's about self. You want to participate in this exchange of energy?
Yeah. And it's what George Washington and Benjamin Franklin and all of our founding fathers did. They did something revolutionary. They flipped the power pyramid upside down, where prior to America, you had this. You had a king, or
monarch.
Exactly. You had some singular entity up here that led and chose for the rest of the pyramid. What the founding fathers did is they flipped that upside down like this, where the largest amount of freedom resided in the individual.
And it came from God.
And it came from God.
Not from the monarch, not from the church.
Right.
It came from God.
And
sovereignty.
And really, if you want to dive deep, which we won't, but I'll explain, right? What is this? Right? What is that? If humans have sovereignty, this is, if you're a Christian, right? A chalice, exactly. And where is it? It's right here. And the handle of the chalice is the exchange of movement of that sovereignty. God holds up the human sovereignty in the chalice of liberty.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. That's brilliant. Yeah.
And it's what, that's why socialism, communism, progressivism, that's why they go after religion, because they cannot have something outside of them. People cannot have the capability to say, no, you are not my authority.
That's right. You know, look at the way we have been, as humans, we have been dumbed down. We eat these fried chips and sit in front of a TV, and we've been dumbed down from our true purpose. As humans, you know, there's a word, apotheosis. And
great word, by the way.
Yeah. And as humans, we are children of God. We actually have the abilities to heal. We have the ability to create. We have the ability, godlike abilities. We just don't, we're not aware of it. And in fact, we are deliberately dumbed down to become blobs of flesh sitting on a couch watching TV and absorbing whatever is being told to us. Democracy is at risk, right?
Yeah.
With the talking heads. But it is so that we don't rise to our true ability of being godlike, apotheosis. If you go to the Capitol building, you will see, look up at the rotunda ceiling. There's the picture of George Washington, who is transforming himself into a god. That's the picture right there. It's the conversion of man, humans rising in vibration, rising in our abilities, rising in our thoughts and minds and hearts, and doing greater things, of creating art. Instead, we are being pushed down as humans into becoming useless blobs. Eventually, that battery in that matrix where the only thing matters, you're just a blob of meat with a heart beating, generating electricity for another intelligent being called AI, right? We need to ascend. The ascension of man needs to happen, and that's apotheosis. And that is going to happen when we have financial freedom.
Yes, that's the key. The only thing we all share is money. That's it. A Jewish man can purchase an egg from a Christian. Their religion's irrelevant. We're exchanging value. We're exchanging labor with each other using our currency. So that's why the progressives, the communists, all realize they have to control the money.
Yes.
If they don't control the money, they cannot control us.
That's right.
Because if they control the issuance of the current currency, they have influence over the reward, the incentive structure. That's what adjusting the interest rate is.
That's right.
It's okay, we want people to do more of this, so we will shift the incentives structure so they do more of this. Well, how about this? How about instead of you telling us which way you want the economy to go, how about you let the individuals choose their incentives, their goals, and whatever happens, and that's a natural free market.
And you know, this ties to your taxation thing as well, because look, it doesn't make sense that we get taxed when we produce income, earnings. You're taking away my rewards. It's like, hey, if we're putting mining nodes and we're getting rewards, why are you taxing that? Tax the spending. Look, I've earned this, and if I desire and go and buy a car or buy a ship or buy a loaf of bread, okay, that's a spending tax. You can go and my utility, whatever I am using, you're free to tax that. But why would you tax what I'm earning and creating? You know, my incentives are being taken away from working hard. How would that be ever productive? So I think that, you know, what President Trump is doing right now in terms of his, as he calls it, internal revenue service versus external revenue service, the tariffs, the creation of the supply chain itself and taxation of the supply chain, so that you're collecting that money from essentially the spending side of it, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever is being taxed in the supply chain, eventually, we should pay tax on, you know, for what we're buying or what we are utilizing.
I have zero problem with the usage tax.
Correct.
Because a usage tax is a tax on something you are consuming, not producing.
Correct.
Because if you tax the production, you get less production. Where at the other end, if you tax consumption,
it makes you more frugal. It
exactly
makes you more efficient.
Exactly.
So efficiency is what you seek. That's the way it should be.
That's why we have so many shit products now.
Correct.
Right? That's why you can go out, you can get a refrigerator, brand new, it'll last you a few years, maybe 4 years. I had a refrigerator at my first apartment that was actually built in the early 1950s. It was one of those rounded, like a safe door. You know, you got to swing it open.
And it still works.
Hey, you're blocking the camera. Can this wait?
No. Jay, you can't hear Jay.
Oh, you can't hear Jay?
It's talking in the
Just a little bit.
Talking in the wrong.
All right.
Hello, check.
It looks good over here.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we had a sound check. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, it literally couldn't wait. He was like, no, we can't hear you. All right, we're good now.
I can hear. Okay.
All right, thank you. Sound check halfway through the show.
Sorry, guys, I didn't have that much to talk anyway, so it should be all right.
No, it's
as long as you could hear Ben, we're good.
No. It's what we are moving into is quality, because if you don't have quality money, you don't have quality production. Because then if you have an inflating currency, everyone is just chasing what I call the now value.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that TV's cheap. I'll get it. It's not really good quality, but it's good enough, you know. Where if you have solid, strong money, you look at the product and you have to weigh, do I value my Bitcoin more or do I value this TV more?
Right.
Which from the manufacturer of the TV, that actually puts leverage on them saying you better produce a good product, or
as they did in the 50s with your fridge, right? I mean,
exactly.
They still work. The same thing. The shirts that I bought 20 years ago, they're still beautiful. And now the ones I buy, within a few months, they become raggedy. They're not the quality that they used to be produced in.
Yeah. So
it permeates the movement of money is permeating every aspect of our lives. And now that, this is the first time, folks, that Bitcoin is truly the people's money. And it is truly the truth ledger. And as we continue to participate, our energy is what is going to drive it. Look, there are only two things that drive the value: scarcity and utilization. And we already have scarcity in the 21 million coins. So now what's going to drive Bitcoin is your energy, your usage, your embracing it. Because if more and more people embrace it, and we go from the 3% to the 30% usage, Bitcoin's going to go up to that $1 million that people are talking about, right? Yep. It is going to continue to happen, but it needs all of our energies so that, and the elite try to understand this battle is not over yet. This is just starting. When they came out, the European Union came up with the CBDCs and the central bank digital currency. They realized they can't control the printing of money. It's digital, owned by the people. So they said, well, if we can't control the printing, let's at least control the storage of it, right? We will control the circulation of it. So just like they do in fiat, they print the money, they give it to us, but you're not allowed to keep it. You got to keep it in a bank. You trust it with us. We will keep it safe, right? So effectively, they've not given you a damn thing. Even when they print it, you keep it on your own bed. They say, it's black money, right? You're not allowed to do that. Oh, you spend more than $600 on your PayPal? Gee, we got to look at what you spent it on. That control.
Yeah, and this this is when the revolutionary comes out in me. is we need to change how we think. We need to quit granting them this illusion of authority, right?
Yes.
I don't give a flying fuck what the government says. You know why? Because I am a free human. We have to act like free humans. Right? When I was younger, I worked at a place that held cats and fucking dogs, what do you call it, like a kennel.
Right.
Right? When you open the door and the dog will not run out, that dog has been trained that the cell is its home, not out running in the field. That's not its home. That's its reward. And once you are convinced that the little bit of freedom they give you is your reward, just make sure that you go back to the cell at the end of the day.
Wow, what a powerful statement. Wow.
You have to realize that you don't have to live in a cell. The cell is an illusion that you place on yourself. And here's a great example. Going down the highway, how many people truly drive the speed limit?
Not me.
I know not you. I've driven with you. Because it's an illusionary limit. Unless you get caught, then what? And I'm just going to throw this out because I find it fucking ironic. If you're going 80 and a cop pulls out and catches up to you, who's going faster?
Exactly.
So is it that it's so dangerous not to speed? Or is it that, oh no, you have to have
Different
boundaries?
rules for different folks.
Exactly. It's all bullshit. And we need to get back to how George Washington thought, how Benjamin Franklin thought. These motherfuckers got riled up on a 3% T-tax.
Boston Harbor, right? And
they're like, we'll burn this bitch
and we're
down.
like slaves, like with our heads down, saying, okay, here, take my money.
Yeah.
There's no revolution happening. It should be happening.
And I've had arguments with city officials. And as soon as I mention, I will sue you personally.
Yeah.
Under common law, all of a sudden they have a hot cup of shut the fuck up and get off my property.
Yep.
Because I'm claiming that right.
Yes. That freedom will never be given to you. You have to win it. You have to fight for it and revolt for it. And it's not going to come easy.
And it is part of life. Every single day of your life, you have to claim the ownership of your day. That's your most valuable thing, is your time. So you have to claim the liberty environment of your time. Because remember, freedom and liberty are not interchangeable. Freedom is the freedom to walk from here to the other side of the road. That's freedom. Liberty is there's no law against that. It's an environment of liberation where it's exactly like taxes. Well, taxes are voluntary, but if you don't pay them, we will bring consequences. That is not a liberty environment. The threat removes the liberty.
Yes.
Oh, you're free not to pay your taxes, but we threaten you
If you don't.
if you don't. So the environment is liberty. The lack of someone else claiming your sovereignty is freedom, or is liberty.
You know, Ben, you're sounding more and more like that McAfee guy.
That-
John, you're becoming a John McAfee. I love it, by the way.
No.
And I love that.
I actually did an interview with him years ago.
No kidding.
Oh, we went on fucking like 3 hours.
I'm not surprised. By the way, you are channeling the whole McAfee spirit.
Yeah.
I'm loving every bit of it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this guy going,
Except the drugs.
oh, well.
McAfee was
a little wild.
that guy never met a
Really?
drug he didn't love.
But look,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the mind,
Yes.
that mind was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the way he analyzed things, very much like you're doing right now. It's those insights are so powerful, folks. I mean, I love listening to you. I love listening to Ben. Yeah, it's good stuff.
We have been trained through education, through kindergarten, child garden, that we do not live in a land of liberty. That's why Benjamin Franklin said, give me liberty or give me death. He didn't say, give me freedom or give me death. Because if you're free in a prison yard, are you free? No, the prison is the environment of slavery. That's removing your liberty.
Yes.
Freedom to walk around anywhere you want in the yard.
Like that dog in that kennel.
Right. And what we need to do is reclaim our insistence of an American institution that is based on liberty, not freedom. Because the government that's why they're so anti-sovereign citizen. Because a sovereign citizen who claims to be a sovereign citizen understands, no, I am not the unnatural entity.
Correct.
You are the unnatural entity.
Right.
Your government is unnatural. There's no other representation of government in nature.
Fascinating.
And nature is absolute balance of a free market. Nature is the ultimate free market. It's a struggle against your environment, but you're free to choose how you negotiate and maneuver inside of that environment. Right?
And the Darwinian theory of survival of the fittest, instead of taking a bunch of kids who can't do any math and saying, let's dumb down math so that they can get a better grade, or somebody who doesn't know how to play soccer and say, oh no, everybody wins. Those are unnatural acts of rebalancing being done by an external force, not in line with the continuity of the natural process.
Yeah,
Persons.
my grandfather used to say a lion doesn't exist on a football field. And there's longer explanation, but what he's basically saying is there is no out of bounds in nature.
I see. Yeah, exactly right.
right?
Right.
That lion will go anywhere necessary to catch the gazelle, and the gazelle is not going to limit itself
To the boundaries that have been drawn out.
right. It's so when you limit human creativity, and you say that is against the law,
Liberty is gone.
liberty is gone, because when you place a restriction, because when you have a law and it's 80 miles an hour, but the police officer has to break the law to catch you, that proves the irrelevance of the law.
Fair enough. I'll use that next time I'm in court.
Yeah. Oh. No. Here's a great example. When I was probably 24 years old, and my God, my driving record was horrible back then, I went to court and I proved that if you are going to issue me this ticket, you have to issue the officer who arrests, or I didn't get arrested at that time, but who issued the ticket, he has to have a ticket too.
Otherwise, he has a different set of laws.
Right. And how I flipped it was I said, I would like to place a citizen citation on the officer because I witnessed him going faster than me.
Right.
And if your claim is he is a representation of the system, then I also am a representation of the system.
Sure.
And I can actually file claims against him witnessing the same crime he says I committed.
And these so-called,
And literally the judge looked at me and said, get the hell out of my courthouse.
A good judge.
Didn't want nothing to do with it. Threw
Right.
it out.
Right. And this is what Elon Musk had to come up and say. He said, every year these guys make more and more and more laws, and none of these laws go away from the book. So every year the pile of laws just keeps on piling on, that to the extent where on an average day, you and I and every normal human being is technically committing like 20 different crimes, right?
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yep.
It's absurd that all that the government does is make more laws every year. Whether it's the law about fishing in your own backyard, it's adding a room in your own house, it's putting a scaffolding up, it's walking on the street, it's drinking a cup of water. There are laws for everything just pouring out of every orifice.
Yeah, and this goes into language. Is we have laws, we have statutes, we have regulations,
mandates.
We have mandates. We have all this shit to tell you what to do. Well, the problem is you're listening to them. And with the Bitcoin, and I've said this for years, I want the battle. I want the fight. It's exactly what I did in that courtroom.
Yep.
Is look, your law is absolutely ridiculous and stupid because you're regulating something on absolutely no system of sovereignty. Because what they claim is you going 82 miles an hour in an 80 mile an hour creates more of a chance of something happening. Well, that's the equivalent of what if.
Yeah.
And everyone knows you can what if your fucking life away.
There's no science behind it, and then they go and say, I am the science, the same thing they did with the jabs.
Yep.
There was no evidence, there was no double-blind trial, there was no clinical trials, nothing to show any of this. It's safe and effective. vaccines are
Yeah,
safe and
safe
effective.
and effective.
You know, so it's just this brainwashing that's being done, and the human mind, you know, if it hears the same thing from 6 different people 6 different times, it just starts to accept it because it's weak, because it's forgetting that God has given us a moral compass and a discernment to know right from wrong. We don't need to go to Harvard. We don't need to study books to know what is good, what is evil.
Yeah.
And yet, when you get pounded by this information warfare, this is where Ben started this whole thing. It really is. We're becoming victims of that, and we got to free ourselves and shake ourselves away into awakeness.
And it's simple. It's very, very simple. I'm not saying there won't be consequences, but also how we wound up here is a lot of people took the easy route. A lot of people played along to get along. Well, guess where that winds up? In slavery.
Tyranny.
All right, what we need to do, and what I have chosen, is I have chosen my monetary sovereignty. I live in a Bitcoin world.
Yes.
All right, I choose to live in a Bitcoin system. That's what our whole organization's built around, and that's how my personal life is built around. And as this environment grows and grows and grows, eventually I'm not going to need the US dollar, because I will choose, and I have chosen, to opt out of their system. And the more of us that opt out and sell their dollars for real currency, they lose power and they are freaking out. And that's why a lot of us who ran crypto businesses and ran clubs, we'd lose our fucking banking. We'd lose services.
They refuse to serve us.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no.
Oh, you got the word crypto, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Oh, gee, we can't open a checking account for you. Really?
Yeah.
Absurd.
Well, it's absurd from our point of view, because we look at it like, hey, equality.
Fairness.
They look at it as, no. You're the enemy, which we are. I'm not going to lie. We are your fucking enemy. We are going to bring your system down, because your system, at the foundation of your system, is slavery and death. That's it. You have used the privilege that was given to you, not by me, in 1913. Some dumbasses chose to create the Federal Reserve, and you have used that to take us to war, which has caused millions of people to die. You deserve to rot in hell for that. Your system deserves to be destroyed for just that. Now you have had this system in place for 100 and whatever years, and through that 100 and whatever years, you have drained the monetary labor value out of the people and injected it into your government structure, to where now your government structure has this aura of legitimacy because you have enough wealth to distribute out to the plebs.
It's a pack of cards.
Absolutely. And it's bullshit. And more of us need to get used to telling the governments to go fuck themselves, because we are the governance. I govern my house. This is my club. These are my clubs. These are our clubs. We govern our clubs, our members.
Amen.
We respect their rights. We are not a tyrannical organization where we govern our members. No, they are free individuals, and they will be treated as such.
100%. We are not slaves. We were not born slaves. We should not live like slaves. And now, for the first time in a very long time, we have an opportunity to have freedom money. to actually have value that we can store, value that we can move, value that we can exchange freely without the control of the tyrannical government. What Ben is saying is so true. We got to fight for this. Look, guys, when there was COVID going on, I remember I was in Las Vegas at that time. I go to the Smiths to get groceries for my family. I'm the only goddamn person without a mask on. And there are three managers running behind me with masks in their hand. Please put this on. And I'm taking those and throwing them on the floor. And after about 10 minutes, the guy says, well, we won't let you check out. I said, okay. I fill up my cart. I come to the front checkout, and they say, we won't check you out. I said, no problem. Here's your cart. I just created some job. I'll be back in an hour with another cart full of stuff, and then another cart full of stuff. And I'm going to keep on doing that till you guys have 30 carts over here piled with stuff, and you can't sell anything, right? Yep. So you got to fight back. You got to fight back. And absolutely, the Bitcoin Ben crypto clubs are the bastions of freedom. They are the lighthouses of freedom. Every single person member here is a sovereign individual first, before anything else. We are free to trade with each other under our common law. We are free to buy stuff from each other without the government interfering into it. We are creating these sacred spaces so that we can transact, we can build, we can grow, we can invest without the oversight of the tyrannical government, unbound by those controls. And as we start to become successful, this will grow. This will grow around the country and around the world. And Bitcoin will continue to be that weapon through which the platform, the energy source through which we can exercise and wield the sword of freedom.
Yep. That's why our clubs, how I view them, is they are monetary. What do you call them? I just had it in my head. Monetary, where you hold arms and ammunition.
Armories.
Monetary armories. That's what these clubs are.
Yes.
We have the ammunition you need to go out and go to war with the system.
Exactly.
And it isn't war in the old way. It's a war of choice. It's, you have found a system. We have found a network. We have found a monetary network that rewards our injecting energy into it. So we are taking the old currency and we're saying this is a monetary poison. I want the monetary cure. And that's what the Bitcoin is it's a cure for the progressive disease that has infected our country and our globe.
Absolutely. You know, my dad was an economist, and one day I'd asked him, as a young man, I said, Dad, what's power? And he gave me the simplest answer, which still sticks with. He said, son, the power is the ability to have choices. And I thought about it more and more. And you see, when you have a choice, you are powerful. When you have no choice, you are powerless, right? If you have no other option, you are powerless, because that's what you have to do. As a slave, you're told by your king, this is you will go to the field and with your shovel, you'll shovel for the next day, and you don't have a choice, you are powerless. What Bitcoin is giving you is the power to choose. You don't have to accept the system that there is. You can use this armory, this monetary armory, to go and reshape the way you run your business. You have the ability to reshape creating your own treasury. You can reshape the way a bank will be created. You can reshape the way trade will happen. And all of this, thousands of myriad ways in which Bitcoin will affect our lives in a positive way, is a choice that you're making. You have the power to choose how you use it.
Yeah, and it's, look, this is a weird analogy, but it works. Bitcoin is the equivalent of your refrigerator. It's, you place You go to work, you go to the grocery store, you go shopping. What you purchased, you want to hold that nutrients value longer.
Yes.
And so you go home, you put it in the refrigerator, it lasts longer.
Yes.
Now, what we're switching from is you go shopping, and as soon as you earn your paycheck, you run to McDonald's and you get shit nutrition at McDonald's. USD is the McDonald's of currency.
Yes.
Yes. It's mass produced. It has hardly any nutrients.
650 different kinds of DNA.
Yeah, it's shit. And that's why we are involved with so many other things. We are involved with helping you save your money. We are involved with getting you clean food. That's the initiative we're doing with the actual beef initiative. We are growing the new economy. And all it is recognizing truth that we all know exists.
Yes.
I mean, your grandmother, I can remember going, when I was a little kid, we had eggs, we had bacon. And now what are they telling you? Oh, eggs and bacon are good for you. Well, yeah, no shit.
No shit. We knew that a long time ago.
Your grandmother knew that.
Yeah.
You know, and we have been lied to and generationally lied to. And just real quick, everyone should be grateful that we are where we are. All of us are living an amazing existence relative to people in the 1900s.
Absolutely.
Guys, when we get hungry, we go down to the grocery store. In the 1900s, if you didn't plant food, you starved. Your job every day was to make sure you had food for the next day. I mean, we are so spoiled with the abundance of everything we have.
Especially in this country.
Oh, absolutely. Because
what an honor it is to be a citizen.
Oh, absolutely. We live a magical existence. This here, if you would have shown someone this fucking phone 100 years ago, you'd be hung out as a witch or a warlock. We live in magic times, and yet we have so many people who are just so unhappy because their happiness is not internal. Their happiness is
how many likes they get on Facebook.
Yeah, it's. So I guess let me wrap this up because we're going on a full hour. Is change what you can, and when I say change what you can, change yourself. I heard a song this weekend that God, as soon as it came on, I'm like, fuck, we need more of this. It was Michael Jackson's "The Man in the Mirror." Holy cow, was he dead on?
Exactly.
It's if you want change, the only thing you can change is you. And we all need to look at ourselves and appreciate the gift that God has given us in our life and in our environment right now, but also look for improvement in that environment, what you can affect. Because our issue is that we have actually removed the responsibility we used to feel for each other. When I was younger, Your neighbor was your obligation. If they ran on hard times, well, walk over and see him cut his yard. He actually broke his ankle, so he can't cut his yard no more. Hey, Ben, go over there, cut the yard for the old man. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've lost that obligation to each other. And because that obligation is what gives us meaning. How amazing is life if you're the richest man on the island, but you're the only man on the island? I mean, who do you brag to? You know, it's we need to realize the only thing that gives us value is each other. That's it. Without each other, we're all alone. We're lonely without each other.
Our existence itself is questioned.
Exactly. I mean, we need to value each other more than we value the system, because the system is not us. There is no system large. God, my grandfather was so fucking smart. There's no system larger than two people. Because you can only give your full attention to one person.
Isn't that the truth?
Yep. And he used to say, God damn, he was smart. There's no system larger than two people. I just figured out what the fucker meant.
TJ, right? Thomas James?
Yeah, Thomas Jerome Simchi.
Jerome.
Yep.
Jerome. Thomas Jerome. That's
Yep.
what I remember, TJ, yeah.
And when you think like that, when you understand the most important person to you is the person in that moment, it can be a stranger. It can be your best fucking friend. It could be your kid. It could be your wife. It could be your husband. It could be a homeless person. What value you're giving them is your attention. And they deserve your full attention. Because that's how you lift people up, is you give them the full attention of the most valuable thing you have, which is your time. Damn, that old man was smart.
And Clara tells me that all the time because I'm doing 5 different things. You're not paying attention to me.
Been there, done that. Well, all right, Jay, let's wrap this up. Guys, let us help you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sing it, MJ. Yeah. Make that change. We're here to help you guys. That's our goal. And we're here to take the old system down. Join the army. Join the resistance. Like the slogans of my club say, join the new rich revolution. The most important word in that sentence is revolution, not rich. 941-413-6920. Give us a call or check us out at BitcoinBen.io for all of our programs, our loans, our mining, our everything. Jay, thank you for a great conversation.
Thank you, Ben. As always, I love you. I love you guys. Everybody who's listening to this, thank you for being members. And let's move on this revolution together.
Everyone have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Woo!
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.